పొలం గట్టు దుమ్ములోన పోట్ల గిత్త దూకినట్టు పొలేరమ్మ జాతరలో పోతరాజు ఊగినట్టు కిర్రు నాటు 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 వీర నాటు.
RRR is a legendary Indian film directed by S.S. Rajamouli, known for its cinematic vision and masterful storytelling. Set against the backdrop of early 20th century pre-independence India, the movie unfolds as a captivating tale of resilience, determination, and nationalism. As the film intricately explores the themes of cultural diversity and a retelling of history from a different perspective, Rajamouli utilizes the appropriate codes, conventions, and contexts to expand his narrative. Set in the backdrop of pre-independence India, 1920, RRR revolves around the fictionalized stories of two freedom fighters, Raju and Bhim. Directed by legendary director S.S. Rajamouli, it is one of the most expensive Bollywood movies made to date. Beginning production in 2020 with a budget of $68 million USD, allowed for the production of a visually stunning and narrative-rich film. Shot in different parts of India and Ukraine, taking over 2 years to film due to COVID-19 restrictions, did not prevent Rajamouli to successfully deliver an award-winning film by 2022. While RRR highlights the importance of Indian nationalism, it also rediscovers the lost parts of history, reflecting the valor of the uncharted freedom fighters against the colonial rule. This challenges typical historical conversation, which often focuses on acclaimed leaders of the Western world. Additionally, the depiction of characters and the structured events object to traditional social hierarchies, which reflects the progressive attitudes of representation and inclusivity in Masala cinema. The film also reflects Tollywood's intricate production values, glamorous sets, and the elaborate action sequences, which all come together to ultimately convey the importance of culture and tradition. With the film's portrayal of the themes of bravery, resilience, and sacrifice, it resonates with universal social values and embodies specific cultural and historical elements unique to India. For example, the concept of unity in diversity with the collaboration of Bhim and Raju. Despite their different backgrounds, they still manage to team up to fight against colonial oppression. Regardless of the movie's progressive attitude, due to its social context in the time it was set, the film portrays traditional stereotypes of patriotism, heroism, and masculinity. Leading male protagonists, Bhim and Raju, are characterized by symbols of bravery, valor, and righteousness. However, the film still incorporates nuanced perspectives of emotional depth, which challenges the simplistic stereotypes of emotionless men. Whilst RRR has a target audience of Indian and international groups, the Indian viewers attribute RRR as a minimal depiction of the long history behind their heritage. For the Indian viewers, it is a celebration of courage and sacrifices made from freedom fighters in their undiscussed struggle for independence against the colonial rule, to which they have a proper understanding when presented with symbolic codes of their heritage. Contrastingly, whilst appreciating the film's visual glory and grandeur, international audiences may have fluctuating levels of familiarity with the contexts and of history and culture depicted in RRR. Therefore, when faced with symbols and elements of traditional Indian culture, international audiences may struggle in understanding references to history and messages beyond surface level. S.S. Rajamouli used conventions found in the genre of action and historical fiction to further grasp audience attention. With well-structured storytelling and building of the context of the world within the film, RRR's non-linear structure and parallel plot lines builds on the intricacy and the depth of the film. Combined by elements of fantasy and legends of historical events, the action film positions the audience to be immersed in the story of the film and invested in the characters' journeys along the way. We are introduced to the second protagonist in RRR, Bhim, with a title screen of water. A common element of masala cinema is to manipulate their structure into segments that can be interpreted as chapters throughout RRR. Men in an office with military officials describing the loyal tribe which Mali was taken from sets the historical and cultural context in which the film is depicting, and the unhinged concept of the mighty British Empire. Furthermore, the scene opens with an establishing shot of the dense forest, with Beam standing amongst the water. The element of water is a typical depiction of intelligence and tranquility, and its association with Beam suggests that he is peaceful and one with nature. Covering himself in blood to attract predators, Rajamouli uses an arc shot which portrays Beam as the prey, which purposely builds tension between the audience and the rest of the scene. As the scene progresses, Beam is chased through the forest by a wolf. With the frequent interchange of camera angles, Rajamouli utilizes tracking shots which capture Beam sprinting, establishing him as a fearless warrior. Unintentionally, Beam picks up the attention of a tiger along the way, which scares away the wolf. A long tracking shot establishes the distance between the tiger and Beam, which heightens the intensity of the scene and displays the close tension between predator and its prey. Slow motion is used throughout the scene to further display acts of determination and nobility from Beam. A mid-angle shot of the tiger trampling through splashing water symbolizes its entrance upon Beam's turf, which ultimately leads to its capture. "It's not a wolf, it's a tiger," displays Beam's fearless acts and his strong ability to optimally adapt to his dynamic environment. As the tiger gets caught in the net, the camera is set to a level where Beam and the tiger are eye to eye. The interchanging shot of the tiger and Beam reminds the audience that Beam is still human, portraying him as both vulnerable prey and a fearless warrior. Tied together by thrilling music and realistic special effects, this scene establishes the strength of Beam's character and his ability to adapt spontaneously. As Beam ultimately triumphs over the tiger, the soundtrack reflects his internal conflict and his alignment with his culture. Whilst the scene portrays Beam as a fearless warrior, it also highlights themes of belonging and nationalism. Resonating deeply with nature and land, Beam reflects the cultural conventions and contexts of traditional Tollywood cinema. Through intricate attention to detail and expertise in production, RRR delivers an epic narrative with captivating visuals which engages audience and promotes the exploration of profound themes of resilience and identity. Rise, Roar, Revolt. RRR, a cinematic masterpiece directed by S.S. Rajamouli, explores the rich tapestry of pre-independence India. A portrayal of a compelling narrative of nationalism and the fight for freedom, with pivotal scenes that establish the undiscussed heritage of Indian history, utilizing a magazine of codes and conventions to support the depiction of cultural identity. RRR challenges traditional political and historical contexts typically portrayed in moving image, shining a spotlight to lesser-known freedom fighters and promoting inclusivity. RRR is a tale of companionship, a nuanced portrayal of bravery and sacrifice amidst the struggle for independence against the British regime. This concludes my video essay. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a lovely rest of your day.